Today we'll be doing the review of the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6. So Z Fold 7 is just like around the corner, and we just go ahead and just make the review of the Z Fold 6. So the main reason of this video is that I've in my previous video I've mentioned you guys that I moved from Z Fold 6 to the S25 Ultra. Now, a few things that I would like to mention, like the Z Fold 6 is completely like different than what you get on the S25 Ultra. And I moved to S25 Ultra as my primary device mainly because of the camera and a better battery life. Otherwise, like I would be just stick to the Z Fold 6, which has a lot to offer. Obviously, the Z Fold 6 is quite expensive device, and but still, like I'm on the S25 Ultra, and sometimes I just miss that inner big screen on the Z Fold 6. So you might just miss the same as well if you have just moved. Or have moved in such a way that from the Z Fold 6 you move to the S25 Ultra. Now first we'll just go ahead and just talk about the design, but before the design I would like to show you guys the case which I'm using, which is like a Nilkin case, which is a cam shield case. It is a very nice case because it's the slimmest that I could just get, and from this we can just know that the finding a case for the Z Fold 6 is quite difficult because not so many great cases are out there. I mean, most of the cases which are with the hinge protection becomes too much bulkier, especially the ones which comes that holds the S Pen in the hinge itself. So I wanted something slimmer to have a better look and make the phone a little bit handy. So I just went with this one without the hinge storage for the S Pen, you can say. And this is quite a great case, I would just say, in terms of holding up since a while, and I didn't find any sort of issues. It has all the bells and whistles that I was just needing. So it has this kickstand over here, it has the camera protection over there, and yeah, it's a great case, I would just say. Now let's talk about the design of this phone first. So the phone is basically kind of you can say in a candy bar style, but quite narrower than the normal candy bar phone. And the design wise, because it has such a big camera bumps on the back, it becomes quite wobbly. So you guys can see it's quite wobbly over here, which I personally don't like it. But once you just open the phone itself, so the bigger screen that you get inside makes it a little bit better in terms of in terms of like a wobbliness. You can just have to press it hard, but still like these big camera bumps does ruin you a little bit of experience if you're just laying the device flat on the surface itself. And obviously this device is pretty much slim. I don't find this one to be thick because it is what you call the foldable device, so you can expect this one to be thicker than the regular phone. On the top we get to see the 3 mics over here, and we have one speaker, top firing speaker. And on the right side, if we come, so we get the SIM card tray. We have the 5G antenna band, we have 2 antenna bands, and we have volume up and down, and power on and off button, which has the integrated fingerprint scanner. On the bottom we get to see the speaker, Type-C charging port, 4 antennas, and 1 noise cancelling mic. On the left you get to see the hinge itself, which is quite nice, I would just say. But in terms of the color, I'm just noticing, like, I'm not sure if you guys can notice, it's been with me since launch, and you can see like it's not been used because after 6 months I moved towards the S25 Ultra, and you can see like the color is fading on this one. It's peeling off kind of, if you can notice from some places, but the color on the back, like if you consider, so that is a pretty nice color. When it was launched, like so many of the people were just very skeptical about this color, that it's not that great and looks like a cheap Chinese phone. But once you see like in person, so you'll just notice like this color looks pretty decent and slick, and I pretty much like this color. Like once I saw this one, so I just fell in love with this color. Like it's very beautiful color, I still say, and very unique. I think it's the first time like Samsung has just created the color in such a pattern that It's kind of a pattern on the back, like carbon fiber kind of look, that looks pretty sleek. I hope like this color was launched on the S25 Ultra as well, but this looks pretty nice. So it's like on the sides, if you see, so it's kind of matte finish black. It looks very nice, kind of towards the gray side, but it feels pretty much nice. So the hinge is holding up pretty much well up till now of this phone, and there are things a lot to talk about this phone itself. Like there's lots of features in it. One thing I don't like, or you can say two things I don't like on this phone, is the battery. Like the Samsung has been following the same battery from Z Fold 4, and the cameras are almost the same as the Z Fold 4 as well. There has been a little bit of enhancements through the camera and the AI, but it's still like I feel like the camera needs to be great on this device. It should be at par with the Ultra, because this device is so much expensive that I would just expect that one to be have on this device itself. The battery has been improved on this one in terms of this, that the chipset is slightly better than the Z Fold 5. So it has the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, which is just helps out in conserving and just use the efficient and just use the battery efficiently, just make this device slightly better in terms of that one. But the price one that you at which you're just getting this device is still pretty much expensive. You want this one to have all the features that the Ultra have. So yeah, so battery wise, you're still getting the 4400 mAh of battery on this one. However, the friendly screen has been improved on this one, which has been increased to 6.3 inches from 6.2 inches, and you get that Gorilla Glass Victus 2 on this one, which helps in the scratch resistance on this device. And but yeah, obviously, like I use the screen protector on the devices, so those features I'm not sure like how well that just lasts on this device itself, the coating on the screen itself. One thing I noticed, like I'm not sure why the Samsung didn't opt with the anti-reflective coating on the Z Fold 6, so because it was there on the S24 Ultra, and I'm not sure why they didn't include that one, maybe due to the cost savings. Now the device itself is pretty expensive. I would just say just like 512 gigs, around this $2,700 in Canada, and it starts with around $2,500 to start with for the 256 gigs of version. Now the thing arises, like this device is pretty much expensive, I would just say. So it's still like a person shouldn't feel like that they missed something on this one because it's so much expensive. So I believe that Samsung should have made this one like the Ultra version of the foldable lineup that has all the features of the S24, or at least S24 Ultra, and we can expect the S25 Ultra features to be there in the on the Z Fold 7. So this device should have like a best camera, so you can just enjoy both worlds. The only reason that I moved from this phone to the S25 Ultra was the camera itself. Otherwise, like I would just have kept this phone itself. The battery also is not that great in terms of when you just compare it with the S25 Ultra. It has been improved from the Z Fold 5 due to the better chip, but it's still like, yeah, I feel like the battery could have been better, like because once you start using the inner screen, so then you feel like it just drains pretty much faster. The carbon silicon battery would be the choice that a Samsung must go for the Z Fold 7. Now if we talk about the software on this device, so software has been pretty great on this device, and I don't find any sort of issues with this one. Like this is one of the bestest you can get in the market right now, and I can watch on that one that the inner screen on this one is pretty great. The speakers are pretty great on this phone itself too. Now the grip that you're getting from this from the back design just helps you feel the device a little bit in the hands. It really helps while you're just holding the phone, rather than if you went with some other color, so that becomes slightly slippier than this one if you're not holding, if you're just holding bare case this device. Now one more thing I would like to mention about this one, like the size itself, these are not so much slippery. These are kind of matte finish that helps in the holding of the device. I'm not concerned about like the Samsung just gives the aluminum frame on this device, or if it could be just a titanium frame. The device itself is pretty much holding great, and most of the people usually use the case with their phone, especially the foldables. You have to just use, even if it's a titanium, it might just add up a little bit of the durability on the phone itself. But if you just fall make the phone fall once it's just open. So the inner screen is soft and you just break it. So you have to just be careful with the foldable itself. The hinge, you can see, is holding up pretty much well. You can just put it horizontally and use it as like a mini laptop, I would just say. You can just do it this way, so that would be better on a flat surface. It feels like a mini laptop. Hinge is pretty great on this phone, I would just say. There's nothing to complain. You can see it is still open up pretty straight. I didn't had any sort of issue regarding the dust going inside and the hinge is not performing. Maybe because like I was using a case which has the hinge protection on this one, so that could be the reason like it's holding up pretty much well. The software on this device is pretty great. Like it has all the bells and whistles. So once we just go into the inner screen, so that's where the real charm of the software you will enjoy. Now the side mounted fingerprint scanner on this device is pretty much well. I never had a trouble with it. It's pretty excellent and like works flawlessly on this device itself. I prefer these ones better than the in-display fingerprint scanners, because once you place the screen protector on it, sometimes that becomes finicky to just unlock the phone. The inner screen and the outer screen both have like a 2600 nits of peak brightness. This one is diagonally 7.6 inch. It has kind of a weird aspect ratio, which just you don't enjoy that much of the gameplay on this device, for the front and for the inner screen as well. Here you get the narrow fields of view, due to which like the gaming experience is somewhat like ruined, because the apps are not so much optimized on this phone itself. I believe Samsung would just make it a little bit wider, so that would just make the gaming and the video watching so much better on this phone. And you just capture more screen on that one, rather than just seeing the black bars on the side of the screen while just playing the video. So the screen itself has been pretty great. We just talk about the software on this one. So it has like so much features. Like you can just open this one in a split screen. You can open another app. Maybe just if you're just using a calculator over here, and you can just do the note writing over this over here. Maybe you can just open the calculator, and if you want more, so you might want to just open the clock. You can open as a pop-up view. You can just rotate it wherever you want. This screen is very much practical in terms of when it comes to the usability. So one thing I noticed, like the Samsung has made it, this one is square to be on purpose, I would just say, because like it just becomes two screens. You're just simultaneously dealing with the two screens. It feels like the one front screen and the second front screen for the Z Fold 6 side by side, and it enhances the usability experience. I would just say is the only reason the Samsung went with this aspect ratio. Like it feels like completely screens, because it feels like a completely two separate screens that you're working on. If it would be just wider, so the screen would be just reduced and would just become slightly wider. But there is some room where it can just make it slightly wider, and that would just expand, that would just enhance the experience of the user. Now you can just open multiple apps as you want. You can just maybe drop down and make it split screen in three zone split screen. You can just press this. You can just rotate these apps as you like, and you can just save this one as on your screen. So you can just click on this one. You can just add it to the taskbar, home screen, or edge panel. You can just maybe just save it shortcut. So once you click it, so it will just pop up that combination, and you can just open as much apps you want. You can open in. Now you can just open further apps as your liking. You might want to just open like a hotel.com, and you can just put it as over here as a window. You can just open kayak, and you can just open as a window. Let's try if we can just make it 4x4 the background screen over there. I think so. No, you can just open the multiple screens, like a three zone screen, and then you can open the pop-up windows as much as you want. And this it's quite good experience. You can I don't think so any of the softwares on any of the phone would just give you so much refined experience like it has the One UI 6. I somewhat like a One UI 6 better than the One UI 7. I like it a little bit simpler. And then One UI 7 is like kind of, I'm not sure how that will perform on the Z Fold 6, but One UI 6 itself is pretty much refined itself, and you will just enjoy pretty much of this device. You don't miss anything. Now, the one more thing I would like to show you guys is the crease over here. It feels pretty much bad. I would just say this thing needs to be improved. There should be anti-reflective coating on the inside as well that would just enhance the usability experience. You see so much reflections of this phone, like even if it's like laying flat. People were saying like it has been improved from the Z Fold 5, but it's still like I can vouch on that. I feel like it's still the same and worse as the Z Fold 5. I don't like this thing. You get a lot of reflections because of this one. Now once you just notice and use this device in bright conditions, so you'll notice this screen reflection, and I think this has to be improved on the Z Fold 7 when most of the phones have like foldable phones have a very less crease or almost not noticeable to the human eye. And this is the thing that I a little bit miss, like but still it is a great device. I would just say the inner screen is pretty much nice. So once you just start and open the video over here, so you can and watching a YouTube, so you can see like you can just make this screen to be in a laptop kind of mode. I would just say, so you have like a video over here, and here you get the controllers, which is like great. You have the lock pad over here. You can just make the scrolling over here, and that becomes quite nice, and it feels like a mini laptop you're using on the screen. So why the screen on the iPhone 16 looks slightly what you call brighter than the S25 Ultra. Maybe speakers are pretty great on this one. There's nothing to complain. Now you have like a combination of controls. You can have it over here while you're just using the phone. You can just make it as a touchpad, the half of the screen. This is called the flex mode, and I think this is very much useful. And you can just select like which apps you want to open with the flex mode. You can just open another app over here. You can maybe open your email over here, and it all depends upon what you want to do with this screen. You can just maybe close this one. You can just drop down notification panel. You can take a screenshot right away, and then there's a couple of controllers that you can get. You can set the screen brightness, like the lower screen. So you can set the brightness, you can set the volume from here. You don't have to even press the button. You can increase or decrease the volume from here. Then it's further, you can go into the settings over here for the flex mode, and like whatever you want to do, it feels like a mini laptop. I would just say you can just click it over here. You can close this one, and you can just make it to be a full screen, the control screen on the bottom. You can click it over here, and it just brings back you to the regular menu bar at the down. So like this is the thing, like if you've noticed, so I don't think so like any phone has to offer this feature as refined as the Samsung has offered on the Z Fold 6, and I really miss the Z Fold 6 when I say like once I have just moved from the Z Fold 6 to the S25 Ultra, because this device is pretty much capable, and I really enjoy the versatility of this device. The only thing I don't like on this device is the aspect ratio on this device, which I can say it's quite weird when you're just playing the game. Let me show you guys like what I'm saying. So there are some improvements that needs to be done on this phone. So if you're just considering just buying this device, so I would just say to just hold on to it and just wait what the Z Fold 7 has to offer, because the Z Fold 7 will be just around the corner, and we just see like what the Samsung has to offer for that phone. The reason being that like it's an expensive phone, to be honest, and you want this one to be ultra features, like all the bells and whistles should be in here, which I believe make justification to buy this device, because it's a foldable, it is ultra, so obviously it's expensive than the S25 Ultra. Nevertheless, if you want to save some bucks, the S25 Ultra, it is a great phone and the camera right now in the market. I would just say you'd better go with the S25 Ultra rather than the Z Fold 6 right now, because the Z Fold 7 is at the corner. Either way, just wait for the Z Fold 7. Now, the things that needs to be improved on this phone, the first thing, the front anti-reflective coating Samsung needs to introduce on this one. Second, the camera itself, the camera needs to be improved on this phone. It's not, I feel like it's kind of a mid-range phone camera you can get on this device. So Samsung needs to just enhance it to the minimum to the S25 Ultra level. Third is the battery. Battery needs to be improved. Samsung can use the carbon silicone battery on this one. I'm not sure why Samsung is not using. It can keep the phone slimmer, make a bigger battery. That's what the OnePlus has done. Now the fourth thing, more cases needs to be introduced. The OEM cases that has the hinge protection. Fifth, I would just say the inner screen hinge should be improved. So there are lots of improvement needs to be done on this device. Now, number 7, the coating on this phone should be improved. The color peeling obviously doesn't look good. I don't think so this phone is going to hold up pretty much well if you're just using it without the case. The inner screen should also have like kind of anti-reflective coating to help it long last, I would just say. And the inner screen is pretty much soft, so the durability needs to be increased. And once you're using with the S Pen, because I feel like the S Pen is not there on the front screen, makes a little bit kind of a bummer sort of a stuff. That I'm not sure why Samsung has not given the front screen the S Pen compatibility. Maybe to just keep the device a little bit thinner. I would just say they might have not used. So the S Pen needs to be included in the device itself. It should come with the device. Maybe just Samsung make a room. Maybe just the Samsung should use a silicone carbon battery, and that would just increase the battery, and the phone could be made a little bit wider in terms of the front screen. That would just improve the aspect ratio of the device overall for the front screen and inner screen. And the S Pen could be just put it inside, would be better choice, like the S25 Ultra, rather than you just buying the separate case or the separate S Pen, and then you need and you get like a bulkier case to hold the phone, to hold the S Pen on the phone. So if the S Pen could have been just made it inside, the front screen is given with the digitizer capability, so S Pen could be used for the front and the inner screen. That would be just great. I think that would just make this device a complete device, and then it will just justify the price point. Obviously Samsung has improved this device from the Z Fold 5, but that kind of iterative kind of upgrade, I would just say, rather than complete, like if someone have like a Z Fold 5, so there's no need to just move toward the Z Fold 6 rather than just wait for the Z Fold 7. So yeah, you guys can let me know if you guys will consider this buying this device in the second quarter of the 2025. And if you guys have any questions, you can just let me know down in the comments, and please like, share, and subscribe, and thank you for watching again. Have a good day. Bye.